September 2022. An employee at Rockstar just returned to his desk from the restroom. When he noticed a strange email appearing on his screen, his heart skipped a beat, and after a moment of hesitation, he clicked it. In an instant, the company's entire computer system crashed. It was clear. Rockstar had been hit by a hacker. An attack targeting the most anticipated game of the decade. Grand Theft Auto 6. Highly confidential information about this game was now flooding the internet. The gaming industry was about to be shaken to its core. Rockstar immediately picked up the phone to call the FBI. While thousands of miles away in England, a 17-year-old boy was sitting on a hotel bed, completely unaware that he had just triggered a massive storm. He put on his headphones, listened to music, and slowly drifted off to sleep. He had no idea whatsoever that this would be the last peaceful night of his life. This is the story of Arian, the genius hacker. The notorious teenager who was responsible for the biggest code leak in gaming history. Let's rewind to December 15, 2017. For 13-year-old Arian, from Oxfordshire, England, it was just an ordinary day. Arian's life was simple and pure. Playing video games was his greatest love. His best friend was his computer. Because he had almost no friends in the real world. He wasn't your average teenager. He lived with autism, ADHD, and several other health issues. However, he had taught himself everything there was to know about computers, far exceeding the knowledge of anyone his age. The way Arian enjoyed life was vastly different from other boys. He first discovered the thrill of it all by using cheats in video games. As time went on, his excitement and curiosity grew day by day, and he began to dabble in more complex hacking in Minecraft. In 2019, armed with 2 years of learning and practical experience, Arian began trying his hand at real hacking. He would hack into random websites just to put his skills to the test. The thrill of it all got him absolutely hooked. Later on, he managed to slip into the secret chat channels of hacker groups. At that time, various hacking collectives were constantly hitting the global news headlines. The fact that they could launch cyber attacks right from the comfort of their own bedrooms completely fascinated Arian. This group was home to some truly elite hackers, and they were linked to a string of high-profile data breaches. Nowadays, besides his computer, Arian has made some new friends. These hackers are incredibly skilled. And in 2021, Arian met a new hacker by the name of Arian. The two of them formed a group they called Lapsus Dollar, an infinite recursion hacking collective. They started pulling off some pretty bold stunts, like SIM-swapping attacks, hacking into law enforcement emails, and sending fake legal subpoenas to corporations. Their main targets were people who held massive amounts of cryptocurrency. Through SIM swapping, they could take over a victim's phone number, reset their passwords, and gain full access to their accounts. As the group continued to grow and expand, Arian started raking in the cash. But money wasn't his only motivation. He was desperate for attention, fame, and recognition. However, the group didn't last very long. Members ended up going their separate ways. But Arian wasn't about to give up. He teamed up with the remaining members to form a new group called Lapsus Dollar. This group was going to bring him all the attention he craved. But it would also lead to a lot of trouble he never saw coming. In December of 2021, Lapsus Dollar launched their biggest operation to date, hacking into the Brazilian Ministry of Health's network. They replaced all their essential medical service pages with a ransom note, demanding payment for the stolen data. The strength of Lapsus Dollar doesn't lie in their technology. It's in how they exploit the weaknesses of human nature. They conduct deep investigations into their targets, studying company structures and gathering information on key employees. They primarily use phishing emails, masquerading as employees or high-level executives, to trick staff into clicking malicious links and leaking their account passwords. Today, Lapsus Dollar controls a massive network of stolen accounts. Arian wanted to pull off something sensational. To get himself into the headlines, he attacked a Brazilian car rental company, changing their website into a porn site. This was the first time Arian saw Lapsus Dollar being reported by the media. Even the Telegram server appeared in the news articles, which got him incredibly excited. After that, Lapsus Dollar made headlines constantly. Arian's hacking skills grew increasingly refined, but he also made countless enemies along the way. He used stolen accounts to access systems, making it incredibly difficult to track him. After every operation, he would wipe his computer and encrypt his data, to ensure not a single shred of evidence was left behind. Even though Arian faced many risks, nothing could stop him. In July of 2021, something peculiar happened. Arian met another hacker by the name of Macy. Macy operated a website called Windmill. Hackers often used this site to share personal information. While browsing Macy's Windmill server, Arian got to know Macy and they started talking. As their conversations grew more in-depth, Arian became interested in Windmill and wanted to buy the site from Macy. However, just a few weeks after the acquisition, Arian struggled to manage the site properly, and in just 2 short months, it ground to a halt. The hacker users of Windmill were furious about this, and started attacking Arian. As the harassment continued to escalate, Arian was forced to sell the big Windmill back to Macy for 20% of its original price. For him, this was a massive financial loss. Frustrated and furious, Arian tried to regain control of the site by locking the domain and hijacking the big Windmill's server names. But Macy quickly regained access. Arian was absolutely livid. He hacked into Macy's Twitter account and put up a $1,000 bounty on the dark web to buy Macy's personal information. But Macy outsmarted him yet again, reclaimed control of the account, and mocked Arian for his failed attempt. Provoked for the 3rd time, Arian made an extreme move. He never imagined that this act would bring such severe consequences upon himself. He leaked the entire database of the big Windmill online, exposing the personal information of thousands of hackers. This time, he hadn't just crossed Macy. The entire hacker community planned to take revenge on him. The next day, the site published the most detailed file ever seen, exposing Arian's identity and linking him to Lapsus Dollar. Once the news broke, British police arrested him under the pretext of an investigation. Fortunately, Arian had the habit of conducting his hacking activities on virtual private servers, which saved him from being incriminated. Authorities found no evidence on his personal computer, so they had no choice but to release him. This time, luck was on Arian's side. However, less than a month later, Arian was back to his hacking activities. This time, his target was even bigger. In February of 2022, Lapsus Dollar hacked into NVIDIA, stealing 1 terabyte of data, including employee accounts and proprietary technology. And they leaked NVIDIA's deep learning super sampling source code, demanding that the company remove the mining limiters on its graphics processing units. In March, they hacked into Samsung. They leaked 190 gigabytes of Samsung's internal source code. That same month, they also hit Ubisoft, causing their systems to go down temporarily. A few days later, they attacked a prominent American cybersecurity firm, Okta. This time, they didn't steal any data. Instead, they wanted to prove they could breach the very companies meant to defend against such attacks. Lapsus made another bold move. They set their sights on Microsoft. Arian hacked into Microsoft and leaked 37 gigabytes of Microsoft's source code. This time, their opponent was incredibly powerful and dead set on tracking down the intruders. 1 day later, Lapsus was put on the FBI's most wanted list. Arian spiraled into a panic. His name had already been linked to Lapsus. He tried everything he could to wipe the files and spread misinformation, claiming he wasn't a member of Lapsus. Arian even tried to bribe Messi to help him. But Messi did the exact opposite. 2 days after the FBI released the wanted poster, Messi updated his Twitter with every single detail about Arian. Arian's situation went from bad to worse. British police immediately arrested the 17-year-old British teenager. He faced serious charges for violating the Computer Misuse Act and was looking at a long, drawn-out trial. However, because he was a minor and claimed his mental state wasn't fit for trial, he was granted a suspended sentence. He was released on bail the very next day and was banned from going online for a month. As media pressure mounted and the harassment intensified, authorities moved him to a hotel to ensure his safety and make sure he stayed offline. Even with no computer by his side, Arian was about to pull off the biggest hack in the gaming industry in a decade. June of 2022, the release date for the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer became the most highly anticipated topic on the internet. Fake news about the release date was everywhere. Rockstar had invested over $2 billion into this game. Staff were giving it their all to ensure a smooth launch. But there was someone else watching Rockstar's every move very closely. That person was Arian, who had been under surveillance in a hotel room for 5 months. Arian began digging deep into Rockstar's gaming systems. extracting every single detail he could. Little did he know that he was about to pull off the biggest hack yet. An attack that would make his name known across the globe. Rockstar's headquarters are in New York, with 10 active studios spread across multiple regions, one of the largest being located in India, mainly focusing on creative work like art and design. But to Arian, this was the perfect weak link to execute his plan. He put together a list of Rockstar employees, including their phone numbers and emails. As usual, he tricked staff by sending out phishing emails. He didn't use advanced hacking techniques or coding. Instead, he exploited human weakness. He posed as an employee who had lost their password and contacted IT support. His first attempt successfully landed him an account, but that account didn't have the permissions to access the back-end systems he wanted. He tried again, and this time he finally found the perfect account, an account belonging to a contractor. Arian made his way into Rockstar's Slack channels, where developers would share internal updates, including login information and project details. Suddenly, he realized he had access to highly confidential and sensitive files for Grand Theft Auto 6. He downloaded every single file, including 90 gameplay videos, but the one thing Arian couldn't resist was the leak everything button. He didn't hesitate to click it, and in an instant, footage of the game Grand Theft Auto 6 exploded all over social media platforms. News articles were popping up one after another. The marketing campaign meticulously planned by Rockstar was completely shattered. A panicked Rockstar immediately contacted the FBI. The FBI and British police tracked down Arian 4 days later and raided his hotel room. They successfully arrested him, but what they found under his bed was shocking. An iPhone 13 Pro Max that was linked to the compromised Rockstar account. Despite being out on bail for previous cybercrimes, Arian continued his hacking activities. Because he violated the terms of his bail, he was sent to the Feltham Young Offender Institution. Reports say he was in a depressed state, clashing with guards and damaging prison property. Arian has openly stated that he plans to continue his cybercriminal activities once he is released. Rehabilitation seems hopeless, but he might just receive psychiatric treatment instead of serving prison time. Due to ongoing delays, his sentencing has yet to be determined.